The Purple Team, otherwise known as the Republic of Rome, was a fan-favorite civilization and was the second oldest still directly around, having originally formed in episode 1. It originally was meant to be a nomadic country, but ended up staying in the Italian peninsula for a while. This is until it was forced out after World War One and forced to stay barely alive in the Balkans. Over time, the Purple Team has reclaimed and lost territory. As of episode 84, it no longer exists. Early history. The Purple Team began in Turkey, expanding westward into Greece. As early nations formed, the red and yellow teams blocked its movement, forcing the Purple Team to find alternate routes. To bypass them, it crossed the sea, landing in Athens, and later expanding into Naples, securing a foothold in Italy. As it grew, the Purple Team advanced into Yugoslavia, expanding its influence in Europe. Meanwhile, several smaller nations broke away from the larger empires, but the Purple Team remained focused on its Italian expansion. Eventually, it reached France and in episode 4 moved into Iberia, solidifying control over key territories. During this period, tensions with Carthage escalated after the Purple Team took Sicily and expanded into France, leading to increased conflict. By episode 5, the Purple Team's era of rapid expansion ended as most free land was claimed. It focused on strengthening its control over existing regions, while new breakaway states such as the Light Purple Team in Switzerland emerged. As naval exploration improved, the Purple Team expanded its maritime presence and secured additional islands in the Mediterranean. With strong holdings in southern and western Europe, the Purple Team established itself as a dominant force, resembling a miniature Rome and shaping the early geopolitical landscape. The Punic Wars. The Punic Wars began at this point. They emerged victorious in the First Punic War, making them a major player in Europe. Unfortunately for the Purple Team, they lost the second, where they made a landing in Carthage. However, they got kicked out eventually. Some naval battles happened. The war resulted in both sides not losing land. And the Third Punic War being shrunk to just the central Italian peninsula. The post-Third Punic War. During the Red Team's mega conquest in episode 17, a coalition formed against them. Among the coalition was the Purple Team, was quickly defeated by the Red Team. Luckily, the Red Team ultimately fell apart and was split into 3 successor states. The Purple Team managed to regain the rest of the Italian peninsula except for Sicily. The Purple Team from there did slightly recover its legacy, regaining previous territories. It even took part in the scramble for Africa. World War One. What ended up being the fall of the Purple Team was World War One. With the Purple Team in the Circle Alliance, World War One, the Circle Alliance did well first, but at the end, it became a resounding defeat. The Purple Team faced perhaps the harshest punishment, as it was kicked from the Italian peninsula entirely, being forced to give its Italian holdings to the Italian Union. It had been reduced to a small state in the Balkans. World War II. The Second World War began after the Greek team was forced to march into Istanbul to retake Pals from Poland. The Empire interpreted this as a deliberate attack, thus beginning the war. The Triangle Alliance, World War II versus the Square Alliance, the biggest war yet. Initially, the Purple Team was neutral, but decided this was the perfect time to reclaim its position in Europe. It was a long and difficult battle, but the Purple Team, alongside the rest of the combats in the Square Alliance, emerged victorious. The Purple Team annexed the Magetan Croatian state and a large part of the now disbanded Italian Union. Relationships between the Purple Team and the old empire vastly improved from here on out. As the Cold War, the Cold War. As the Cold War went on, there was not much stopping the Purple Team from continuing its expansion. It invaded and promptly destroyed the eastern part of the former Italian Union, then destroyed the other part. This made the purple team the only legitimate claimant of Italy. After this, the purple team invaded the dark red Mediterranean country that was released from the brown team following World War II. Them and the brown team were unaligned. For the rest of the Cold War, the purple team did not join any alliance, but was considered a de facto ally of the old empire. The War of the Greats, aka World War III. In 1990, the brown team paid off an assassin to shoot the old empire's president during his inaugural address. This began the chain reaction that began World War III. It began as a war between the Square Alliance and the Cross Alliance after a nuclear exchange between the two, but escalated into a three-way conflict as the old empire preemptively nuked China and its Circle Alliance. The war spanned across 3 episodes, with the final peace treaties in the 4th. In episode 47, the purple team remained neutral. However, they did join the next episode by rejoining the Square Alliance as a temporary member. The purple team's entry into World War III made the Balkan front even bloodier due to its intense back and forth nature seen on the front lines. The War of the Greats did not end in a single alliance winning. Rather, it was a series of smaller victories all across the alliances. The leader of the Square Alliance, the Old Empire, may have collapsed, but it has only strengthened the purple team. During the collapse of the Old Empire, the purple team invaded the Old Empire's Italian holdings so it could fully unite Italy after so many episodes. In the Treaty of Amsterdam, it annexed minor land from Russia's late vassal Bavaria. The Age of Aggression. When the Age of Aggression began, the purple team left the Square Alliance as it was only a temporary member during World War III. However, this quickly changed. Due to the brown team's sudden resurgence in power and intense militantism in the purple team would rejoin the Square Alliance. Not as a full member, they're even becoming a de facto leader of the alliance. The Age of Aggression would see the rise of extremist ideologies around the world. Fascism would rise in places like the brown team in West Africa, while the purple team and some of its allies, namely the Farmers Union, Poland, and Norway, would become communist. The purple team would interfere in the Second North African War, seizing Sardinia from the crumbling East African Union. In episode 59, the purple team would also intervene in the French Civil War. They would support southern France, communist France, and even sent troops to the French team. During this era, they also invaded Catalonia and annexed some of their land. World War IV, aka the War of the Absolutes. The purple team would be the ones to lead the charge against fascism, even rejecting threats from the Pergrilum Alliance to continue their crusade. They made good progress in the beginning, managing to take some territory. But their progress was eventually reverted when the Dutch Empire made its counteroffensive. After months of back and forth fighting, Rome launched an attack going deep into both fascist-occupied France and the Dutch Empire. Around the same time, India and the reunited Old Empire joined on the side of the communists, greatly helping out Rome. Soon, the democratic nations of the world helped the communists beat the fascists. The Age of Modernization. Rome officially declares itself broke after investing too much money into military equipment during World War IV, and also personnel and factories. In episode 75, Rome gives independence to some rebellious territories, such as the Republic of Catalonia. In the next episode, the Red Country was released. The Roman Civil War. In episode 77, the Roman Civil War begins when the Roman government declares martial law and many regions declare independence, including a democratic bloc of the government. The Roman government then requests help from the Assembly of Nations, Poland, and America to help in the Civil War, but they all do not help. Then more northern provinces start surrendering to the rebels. After this, the Roman economy crashes. After the economy crashes, the Roman government sends an order to all soldiers that they're allowed to steal from civilians and pillage stores for money since Rome can no longer pay them in food and money. The Assembly of Nations hears this order and results in the majority of the Security Council voting to punish the Roman government for breaking the Golden Convention. Some European countries intervened in the Civil War, but the Europeans favored the rebels, not the People's Republic of Rome. The Battle of Rome begins when the democratic rebels reaches the capital and results in the bloodiest battle of Roman history, with more of the city on fire and most civilians died due to other civilians. After the Battle of Rome, the rebels, now calling themselves militias, rejoined the Roman government, but this doesn't help enough to stop the People's Republic of Rome to collapse. The War of the Elites. In episode 82, Rome joins after finding out America was behind its collapse back in episode 77. The result of this is Rome joining the Triangle Alliance against America, followed by the former Republic in Sudan. In the next episode, they have success in invading the Pink Team but have trouble against the Lime Team in Germany to the north. Eventually, Rome succumbs to their invaders and surrendered in episode 84. In the peace treaty, the Italian portion of Rome is split between the Lime and Pink Teams, while the rest is cut into two pieces, ending Rome's existence on the map. The legacy of Rome. First, if it wasn't for Rome, the fascists probably would have taken over a good chunk of the world before it finally got defeated. And Rome, being the leader of the war against the fascists, Rome is a hero. And back when Rome first formed, it started in Turkey and then went to Italy, Yugoslavia areas. And by expanding that much, its culture and religion and all that fun stuff got influenced into other parts of the world. And eventually, its culture is everywhere. Like there's Turkish culture, Greek culture, Crete and Greek sound the same. And And they also taught us a valuable lesson: never give up. Rome always kept fighting, and I respect them for that. Like, even if hope was lost, like in World War I, where they got kicked to the Montenegro region, they eventually entered World War II, gained a whole bunch of land. Same between World War II and World War III. Same with World War III to World War IV. I don't want to say that. And this is Rome's legacy and history. Hopefully it can come back one day. And goodbye. Well, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to see more like it, tell it in the comments. Because why not? And if there's a specific country you want the history of, you can just tell me. I'm a child, so yeah. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time, and have a good day.